MonTECH Showcase. Accessibility features on a Chromebook. By Marlena Lanini, OTR/L. MonTECH Eastern Clinic Coordinator.
Hi, I'm Marlena Lanini. I'm with MonTECH, and today I'm going to show you how to turn on the built-in accessibility features on your student's Chromebook. The great thing about accessibility features is that they're free and they're going to make the Chromebook much easier to use. If the accessibility menu has never been turned on, first thing we're going to have to do is turn that on. So if you click in the lower right-hand corner in your system tray, you will see that I don't have an accessibility menu showing up here. So I'm going to turn it on by clicking first on my settings gear icon. And the accessibility menu is buried, so I'm just going to go ahead and type in accessibility in here, and I'm going to toggle this switch on that says always show accessibility options in the system menu. Once I've explored the accessibility options that work for my student, I can come back in here into the manage accessibility features and I can make some fine-tune adjustments if I need. But for right now, we're just going to turn on the menu and see what's available. So if I close out of there, now if I click back on to my system tray, you'll notice now I have a menu for accessibility features. So you can tell your student to just look for this icon of the little person. Now, if I click on this icon, it's going to bring up all the accessibility features available on a Chromebook. And note that this video is just showing the accessibility features available on a Chromebook. If your student is using Google Classroom or Google products on a Chrome browser, but on a different piece of hardware like a Windows-based computer, a Mac, a tablet, something like that, the accessibility features on those devices are going to be a little bit different. And there's also accessibility features built into the Chrome browser itself. So right now we're just going to go over the accessibility features on the Chromebook. So the first thing I have on the menu is something called Chromevox. Chromevox is a screen reader. It's designed for somebody who has low vision or who is blind, and it will read all the information on the screen out loud. Additionally, you can use hotkeys to control the computer. The next accessibility menu option is Select to Speak. Select to Speak also reads text out loud, but only the text that you select. So this sometimes can be a better fit for somebody with a learning disability who only needs certain text read out loud. The next option is Dictation. Dictation allows you to talk to the computer instead of type with your hands. High contrast mode changes the colors for higher contrast to make things easier to see. Full screen magnifier will magnify everything on the Chromebook screen. Docked magnifier will magnify only a portion of the screen. Automatic clicks will change the system so that when the cursor stops moving, it will automatically click wherever the cursor is resting. This can be a great fit for a student who has difficulty pushing down to click a traditional mouse or the pad on the Chromebook. And the last menu option is on-screen keyboard, and that simply brings up a keyboard on the screen, just like it sounds, and it allows somebody who has difficulty using the traditional keyboard to type using a mouse or any kind of other alternative input using that on-screen keyboard. So those are the accessibility features available on a Chromebook. If you want to turn any of them on, you just click on them and you'll notice a green check mark will show up next to the one that you turn on. And you also notice an icon will pop up down here at the bottom that allows me to interact with those particular accessibility features. So that's how to turn on your accessibility features on your student's Chromebook. Hi, I'm Marlena with MonTECH. Today I'm going to show you how you can have text read out loud on your Chromebook if that's what your student uses. There are really two different features on the built-in accessibility menu that can have text read out loud, and I'm going to show you the differences between the two features. The two features that will read text out loud, if you go into your accessibility menu, Chromevox will read text out loud, and so will Select to Speak. But they're designed slightly different, so they're going to operate slightly differently. So you can figure out which one is going to be the best fit for your student. Chromevox is designed for a user who is blind or has low vision, but it can also be really useful for a student with a learning disability that needs text read out loud. And Select to Speak will only read text out loud that you select. So that can be useful for somebody with a learning disability, but is not going to be useful for a student who has low vision or blind and needs everything read out loud. So I'm going to show you in this example how we can get text read out loud. And I'm going to set the settings so that it's going to be more supportive for a student that has a learning disability. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on Chromevox. And when I turn on Chromevox, it's going to start reading everything like it would for a student who can't see the information on the screen. And I'm going to show you how to manage those settings if you just want certain text read out loud. That would be more appropriate for students, say, with a learning disability who can see the information on the screen. So I'm going to click this on, and Chromevox will start reading everything.
Hear text read aloud, Chromebook help.
Okay, I'm going to open up the settings on Chromevox right
Hear
away.
text, Chromebook, web content, Chromebox options, Chromebox options, heading 1. Enable verbose description, enable verbose descriptions,
verbose descriptions. I'm going to turn on speak text, under the mouse.
Checked.
And I'm going to
speak text under the mouse.
Down.
Checked.
And I'm going to also turn
announce
off
text, announce text styling. Not checked. Announce text styling. Not checked.
Text styling will just tell me the font size and what's going on with the text styling, which can be confusing information for a student who does not need that information. But now that I have that turned on, basically Chromevox is going to read any text that I have under the mouse. So that can be, once I have this set up, can be pretty useful. So I'm going to go back to my web page here.
Hear text read aloud, Chromebook help. Hear text read aloud, Chromebook help tab.
So
5 of 6. Multi-select, Google
it
Photos,
read out loud
shelf,
window. My tab, it's reading out something on my shelf that I happen to put my cursor over.
Hear text read aloud. Hear text read aloud, Chromebook help. Heading 1. You can hear full pages read aloud with Chromebook's built-in screen reader or hear parts of a page, including specific words, read aloud with Select to Speak.
Okay, and so if I move my mouse, it's going to read.
You can turn Chromevox on or off from any page by pressing.
So I'm going to turn Control-Alt-Z to turn Chromevox off. So that gives you an idea of what Chromevox can do when I have read anything under the mouse, so I can get a lot of text read out loud that way. The other option to have text read out loud would be to use the Select to Speak. So you can see the shortcut here is Alt plus Shift plus S, or I can go into my accessibility menu and I can click on Select to Speak. And now you can see I have a Select to Speak icon down here at the bottom. Now it won't read out anything out loud unless I want it to. And so I have to use a series of different keys to be able to do that. And there's a whole bunch of different options for doing that. And so right now, what you can see is I'm on a support page for Chromebook that will tell me how to select and hear text out loud. So now that I have Select to Speak on, I can press and hold the search key and click a line of text.
Press and hold the search key.
And it will read out loud. I can press and hold the search key and drag it over text, and it will read it out loud.
Depending on your keyboard, you can press the search key or the launcher key for some shortcuts. Both keys work the same.
I can highlight the text and then press the search key plus S, or I can click the Select to Speak icon down at the bottom and then highlight text. And it will
at the bottom right
loud.
Near the time, select to Speak, then select a line of text or drag the pointer over an area of the screen.
Anytime I want to stop, I can just hit the stop button at the bottom. So you can see there are a number of different ways that I can then have text read out loud. All of those are going to require a lot of clicking using the mouse. So if that's a good fit for your student, those Select to Speak might be a good option. But that's an overview of 2 different ways where you can have text read out loud on a Chromebook.
This device, along with a wide variety of other devices, is available to borrow free from MonTECH. Please visit MonTECH website for more details. http://montech.ruralinstitute.umt.edu
you.